In this tense endgame between the bot Maya 9 and the player Cosmic Banditos, Black has just made a fatal blunder by pushing their pawn forward to g5. Why is this such a disastrous choice? Because it allows White to exploit the geometry of the board with a beautiful tactical idea. White immediately slides the rook up the board to a5. Notice how this brilliantly attacks the black rook on b5, pinning it directly to the black king sitting on the 5th rank. The black rook is completely paralyzed and cannot step off the b-file without exposing the king to an illegal check. Let us see what happens if black tries to simply eliminate the threat. If black captures the attacking rook, white recaptures with the b-pawn. Suddenly, a dangerous passed pawn is created on the a-file. Because of the forced trade, the black king finds itself completely outside the square of this newly created passed pawn, which means the king is too slow to catch it, and the pawn will simply march straight up the board to become a queen. Knowing that trading rooks is a guaranteed loss, black tries the most resilient defense available. Black slides the rook out of the pin to e5, keeping it on the board and moving it to a defended square. But white does not mind this at all, and simply forces a completely winning pawn endgame by capturing the rook with check. Black has no choice but to recapture with the king. And now white plays the crushing final move, stepping the king up to g4. This gives the white king an aggressively dominant post, eyeing the weak black pawns. Black is entirely helpless here, and we can look at their two main attempts to save the game. First, what if black abandons the king side and runs for the remaining white pawn? If the black king sprints toward the queen side to grab the b-pawn, white's king invades on h5, attacking the h-pawn. Black prepares to capture the b-pawn, while white gobbles up the first pawn on the king side. Black finally takes the pawn on the queen side, but it is too little, too late. White captures the g-pawn and will easily win the long pawn race, as white's connected passed pawns are unstoppable. Alternatively, let us see what happens if black tries to play passively and defend their kingside pawns. Instead of running away, the black king retreats to f6. White still presses forward, marching the king to h5 and attacking the h-pawn. Black must defend it by moving the king back to g7. But now white has a devastating resource, pushing the b-pawn forward to b5. Black is completely paralyzed and out of useful waiting moves. If the king steps away from the defense of the pawns to f6, white ignores the king side entirely and simply pushes the b-pawn to b6. The black king is too far away to stop it, and white will promote to a queen and win the game. A brilliant display of endgame geometry starting from that horizontal pin,